Hey, Merry Christmas, folks. Everybody likes to give presents, and I've got staff members that I'd like to give presents to, too. And you know what? I went online and tried to figure out a good gift that I could give some of my workers that, work with me in the practice and here on the farm and so forth. And, I really couldn't find what I wanted, so I decided I had to go out and get some cones and build the Christmas tree that I wanted to give them this year. I went on Pinterest, I went on YouTube, I saw people building, origami little flat Christmas trees and stuff like that, but I decided I'd take a piece of foam, cut it up, and stick it to the bottom of some of these foam cones that I picked up at Michael's, wrap some brown yarn around the bottom of them, and kind of build the Christmas tree that I wanted to build so that I could, give it to my coworkers. And I own my farm and I've got some employees there, and of course I've got my practice and I've got a couple employees there, and I really wanted to give them a gift that I thought they'd like. So if you take some bills, count out the amount you want. This is about a 8-inch cone, maybe about 3 inches in the bottom, and I've got a 10 here to put up on top, and then some 5s and assorted 1s, and I'd like to at least get probably $25 to $50 on a tree, depending upon what I'd like. And of course, obviously the smaller the tree foam you buy, or the larger, depends upon how many of these you can put on it. So I came home and started folding up some bills. Now, I'm no origami expert, folks, so basically what I know how to fold is paper airplanes. But you know what? It sure looked like a Christmas tree to me, so I thought, shucks, if people can do this with origami and make these things flat, well, maybe I can make them more leafy. Now, I know there's prettier crafts that can be done with bills to be given out, but again, I really wanted to just be a kind of a stand-up tree, and I wanted to have some little Christmas bulbs on it, and maybe a little tag, and a little star at the top, and had to get a little help from my wife with the star, but she'll show you how we did that in a minute. I'm just folding these 5s up into basically paper airplanes, except for I'm not doing the last little step where you'd make the wings out of them, and it works really good. I mean, again, I've got not a lot of staff members, but I've got enough where making half dozen of these isn't a killer as a boss, and I think it'll go over really good as a nice Christmas gift for them. They can take them apart. The money is still completely perfect, just with a few folds in it, and they can still go and spend it. See if I can show you how I'm doing this more here. So I'm taking the bill and I'm basically kind of folding it at the center point down like an airplane, and then I take each wing, if you want to call it, and fold it in half. Try and make sure the creases are really nice and tight, and then I'm basically just folding it in half and leaving it like that. It seems to kind of then pucker nicely like a leaf. I'm working with the back side of the bill, so the face is on the outside. I don't know, just looks more decorative to me that way. Supply-wise, I've got these little pins with kind of a little flatter head on them so that I can pinch the dollar bill in, and then I've got these stick pins for sewing that have little, colored balls on the end, and I'm just going to kind of place them in between the bills so I don't damage the bills, so that they look like, little ornaments, on the trees when I'm done. And again, it's just made with these like 8-inch by 3-inch or so foam cones from Michael's, and I took one of the cones and I sliced it into pieces and made it into a base for the bottom. I just screwed it in to the bottom of the other foam with a couple of pins, and wrapped some yarn around the bottom for a base on it. You can pretty much put whatever dollar amount of money you want. It seems to me that it takes probably about 30 bills, 25 to 30 bills to get one of these trees pretty much covered so it looks like a tree. Here's my wife. She's getting involved here with helping me make a star. She's taking the $10 bill, the prized bill of the tree, so to speak. She's folding it in half just so she can find the center line. And then the only tricky fold is taking that upper left corner and point and folding it down to the center line. Not to the bottom, to the center line. That kind of starts everything. Once you've got that fold, then you fold it over, which is a little bit tricky, but you want to fold it over to the top corner and then fold it again, the left corner all the way down to the bottom right. I know it's a little off on how it exactly lays out. I mean, money's its own dimension, right? And then you just tuck that little, tail in, and you've kind of got a triangle. What she's going to do from here is she's going to try and find the center of the triangle by folding all the points in. And the only reason she's doing that is just to find the center of it. So she takes one point and folds it to the opposite side. She takes another point and folds it to the opposite side. And then she takes the last point and folds it to the opposite side. That was the best way of finding the center point, folks. Once we found the center point, take the individual points and fold them into the inside. That seemed like it was the best way of getting the points down. The bill gets a little bit thick at this point. That's not an issue. Just flatten it out the best you can so it continues to do well. Once you get all the points in, kind of got this, like hexagon shape, you're going to flip it over and fold in maybe only part way on the sides, and that's going to kind of flip the points out. And that's basically how you get the star. So, it's kind of a nice creative way for her to make an origami star for my tree. And, it's made out of, in this case, the prized bill, the $10 bill. We tuck the one little corner in, it kind of holds it together. And, lo and behold, there's our star. A little 5-pointed little star. I'm going to take that star and put it at the top of my tree and hold it in with just kind of a lapel pin that you would use to, put like a flower on a chest or something of a suit, okay? So here I've got all these bills folded up, and I've got my cone with my little Christmas tree base on it. And I just got kind of creative here and, kind of pinch the bills a little so they stand up. And this is where you got to be, a little delicate. You want to try and pinch the bills in on the sides by the pin. So I take the pin and I put it right next to the bill, and I don't want to wreck the bill. I don't want to wreck their money. That would kind of defeat the purpose. But I want to get it pinched by the pin so it stays in. That to me was the easiest way of getting them to stay. Now, granted, if you pinch the bill a little bit or get a little bit on the bill, I'm sure nobody's going to care if there's a very, very tiny pinhole in it. But I wanted the bills to be nice for them. Now, certainly you can use, real fresh, brand new, crisp bills too. I chose not to. I wanted my trees to look, I guess, real to me, which is that weathered kind of look of a bill. So, and then I just went around and, kind of spaced them out so the bottoms were all touching and the tops had spaces. And those spaces I'll fill with other bills, as you see. I'll speed this up here a little bit so it goes a little faster so you can see how it goes. But basically, I just did this all the way around the tree. And this particular size cone, it takes about 4 layers to put it all the way around. Total cost for a project like this, I think the cones were like $3. The yarn, I think, was like $1.99 for the brown roll. Each box of pins there are 2 sets of pins, I think was $2.99 a piece. So supply-wise, I think with the 2 boxes of pins, I think I had 8 cones. And the bills, which was, like I said, between about $25 and $50 a tree, I probably spent several $100s on my staff, but you know what? I think it's worth it, folks. I think it's the right thing to do during the holidays. Make a nice gift for them. I know I didn't actually make the money, so to speak, but I put the gift together, and I think that counts for something, and I hope my staff appreciate it, which I think they will when they come to the Christmas season here and they get their gift. It's kind of a nice way, a little Christmas bonus for them, given to them in a little different way, a way that makes it more special. So if you got somebody that, really could use a little extra cash and you just don't want to stick a dollar bill in an envelope and hand it to them, well, certainly go on, the internet and search the videos, and you can make an origami Christmas tree or a flat little tree that you can stick into, a stocking or something. And I'm sure they'll be extremely appreciative of it. But if you want to make something that, looks like a real tree and isn't, the toughest and most expensive gift out there other than the value of the money itself, give this a try. Like I said, I'm not the most creative person, but I didn't think this project was too bad to do. I'd say each tree took me probably about 25 to 30 minutes, and I did 8 of these. So, probably 3-4 hours, and I got all their gifts made, which I know it's a little time consuming, but I rather enjoyed it. It felt good making the gifts for them, and I certainly hope, like I said, they'll enjoy it. So here you can see I'm on about the 3rd layer going around, just kind of pinching those pins in and trying to get it. Again, sorry it gets a little fuzzier. As I started to work, I kept lifting it closer and closer to me. I don't know really why I did that. It's just probably habit. But the tree comes across as kind of, protruding with its dollar bill leaves, and I just mixed in the 5s right with it. So the 5s and the 1s are all kind of mixed together. And like I said at the top, I topped it off with a $10 bill. You certainly can use any denomination of money you want. And you could do this craft too with fake money too if you wanted something that would last all year long that you could put out or just use as a seasonal decoration. Once I got to the top of the tree, I didn't exactly cover up the top. I just kind of put the points of the bills so they went over the flat top of the cone and left enough space so that I could kind of fit the star in. I figured, the little bit of foam that they see there probably won't be a big deal because they'll be focusing, on the actual gift itself and the uniqueness of the handmade gift. So that's what I did at the top. Once I got all the pins in place and I had it kind of set, and I was going to place the star on top, that was when I decided to just put the pins in, the little colored ball ones. They're about 1 inch long on their actual pin, and just use them as like a Christmas bulb. Now, certainly you could wrap a little bit of yarn or something around this like garland too. You can be festive and creative, but here on the farm, this is kind of how it ended up. I pulled that pin out of the center that I had saved. I was going to use that for the star. So I'm going to take my star, and I'm just going to eventually push that into the top. But there's my tree all folded up. It's holding real well, so now I'm just going to pick some of these pins up and just kind of put them in as bulbs, and I'm going to try not to hit the bills. I'm going to kind of push them in between the bills, so they look like little Christmas bulbs. I just got to kind of work my way through the foam and find the spots where the bills aren't exactly, and just kind of get the pins so they're visible, but that I'm not crushing or poking the dollar bills. I'm going to put about probably 3 rows of these pins in. As you can see on the other trees, I think it just adds a little pizzazz to the tree, which I think is kind of neat. I'm also, if you can see the other 3 trees that I've already made, putting a little name tag on them. I wrote, Merry Christmas on it, and then who it's to. That certainly is very helpful if you make the trees different denominations. Obviously, for more senior members of your team, you want to make sure that those members and or farm hands or whoever you're working with probably get a little bit more than the newer person, and that's fair. I don't see any issue with that. So, it helps if you then name the trees. So, at the top, I went around the foam at the top here, and there's a little bit of foam showing, so I just stuck a pin in each one, just to, each one of those little slits, just to kind of cover that little crack where the foam shows there, where the points are up on top, and tried to pick a different color for each side. Just to kind of keep it kind of festive, I mean, Christ is the reason, and, the tree really represents light and life, and, with his birth, it's very kind of special, kind of old German tradition. I don't know if it was ever meant to be made out of money, but, what the heck, right? So pretty much the tree is just about done. I got a few last couple pins to put in here, and then I'll place the star on top, and then I'll have the 4th tree out of 8 or so made, and it'll be a wonderful, wonderful gift for everybody. we really appreciate you guys, watching our channel and supporting us. Obviously, we've got a whole plethora of different videos out there. We certainly try to stay true to our nature as Reef DVMs and try to show those fish tank videos, especially of our own tank. And then of course, we have a love for farming here on the farm and showing off how we farm and what we farm with and how it's going. Gosh, that's part of farming. It's part of homesteading, folks, and that's just a fantastic thing to do. But I guess where I'm going with this is I really appreciate you guys, especially during the holidays, watching our channel and commenting, pleasant and nice comments and just, enjoying our videos with us. They're fun to make, folks. We tend to make videos that are sometimes new like this, but otherwise we tend to make a lot of videos based on requests and comments too. So please feel free to like our channel and subscribe, and communicate with us as to what you'd like to see on the farm or on the fish tanks. And we certainly do our best to try to cater to that. It doesn't always work out, but we try. Here I'm putting the star in. I just picked a point. I'm trying to kind of push it into the foam and kind of make a slot. And then I'm just going to pin it in with a pin. I go kind of right through the center of the star. Yeah, I know it'll make a tiny pinhole, but there it is. It's a nice little tree. It's got bulbs on it. The star is on top with a little white bulb up on top. I love it. I'm going to make myself a little tag here so I know whose this one is. As I get one of these sticky notes to actually stick. First couple don't always stick. I just write Merry Christmas and who it's to on the front side, and then just a little note of thanks on the back side. And I'm just going to take a pin and stick it into the foam and attach it to the tree, and voila, it's done. It's a great Christmas idea, folks. I certainly hope you enjoy it. If you give it a try, I think you'll find that your staff or cohorts or family and friends really kind of like a gift like this. I mean, heck, who doesn't like getting a little Christmas bonus from their boss? You hand this to a staff member or farmhand or whatever you got. I'm sure you'll bring a little bit of smile to them this Christmas. There's my Christmas tree made out of money. A nice little Christmas gift for the employees. Thank you for watching and liking, folks. Please subscribe. We'll keep putting out great videos like this.